Hi, and welcome to Be Inspired with D'Amber. I'm your Puerto Rican mommy with a sprinkle of French. Yeah, I've had a slight cold for a few days. No, it wasn't C19. It was just cold with allergies, with flu, combination of a lot of things. Something I ate, you know, around the air. You just never know what's around you, right? So if I cough, just realize that I'm still a little bit under the weather and I do need rest. So, first of all, my dog was a little on the poor end as well. She had something, I believe it was what they call it as far as trachea collapse or something like that, or when dogs cough. It's not really kennel cough, but it's the opposite thing. So I was giving her manuka honey with little coconut. And currently, right now, she's okay, although I did sage, and try not to get too much on her. Yeah, and I had to cancel her appointment as well. Now, what I want to talk to you about was Earth, because last week I was so excited. I was talking about the Tartarians, Tartarians, and the anarchy or Anakis, what they're called. They were about 40 feet, right? They were 40 feet and they would make themselves shrink when they would fight with the Tartarians, right? This was way back when, let's say 1,000 years ago, because that's when we were under the dome. We were under the dome. Also, I'm going to be asking questions. I don't have anything written down, so I'm going to be asking questions, whatever pops in my head. And thanks to Honey C. Golden, she's really great for the collective. She is bringing light to all of this with the dome. Have been under a dome for 1,000 years, and it's been at least 850 years that our weather has been manipulated. So, excuse me. So, with that said, can you imagine 850 years? Therefore, when everything settles, it's going to take a while for it to really show the temperate weather. When I say temperate weather, it's because she has stated, and I've read some information, but they don't give you all the information. However, I vibe, I'm empathic, I'm clairvoyant, and I can feel, I can see, I can hear, so what she's saying about the new earth, to me, I feel like 95% on what she's saying is accurate. Okay. So, all in all, she's saying that we're okay. Let's say, for instance, this is the top of the earth, because I used this example last time. This is like the top of the earth, right? And let's say, for instance, we were right here. I'm not drawing this because I don't have the Zoom to divide it and to show you another screen. All in all, let's say, for instance, because we live on top of the earth, right? And we're under a dome. So let's say we live right here, and there are 5 other continents, I believe. Yeah, 5 other continents on top. You got the Tartarians, you got the fairies, and you got 3 other ones. And there's water, okay? And this water has never had a dome around it, okay? The water. And the ice walls, which is why they talk about the green, how do they, when they talk about that we're going to have that the Antarctic is melting and all of that, it's because this has been artificial weather. It's supposed to have been temperate because the beings living outside of the earth are already ascended, and they are 1,000 years ahead of us. 1,000 years ahead of us. So we have five continents, except none of them are under a dome. The only ones that are under a dome are we the people, okay? The ones that are against one another, the ones that fight with each other for whatever reason, rather it be religion, rather it be political, rather it be governments, hospital systems, and it's all for nothing because in reality, it's all coming down. And we need to all come together and build up the courage and see this happening. We don't want to be under this dome. We want the dome to break away. And how is the dome going to break away, or how is it going to fall? Through the sun, because we always had a fake sun, right? But currently, right now, we are experiencing reflections of the sun. So therefore, we getting exposed. Our DNA is getting the little hits from the sun. That means that we're going back. We're touching up on our past records, getting to know ourselves, who we really are, and what we came on earth to do, who we really are, right? So, on that note, I'm going to use the frequency bowl and sending out frequencies to everyone who's possibly listening or who bumps into the channel, that you put out positive vibes so this dome can finally come down. We got to bring down the dome and let it fall, bring it all the way down. And basically that means that we want the solar flash to hurry up in this lifetime, in our lifetime, this year. I mean, wasn't it Ishmael Perez that also talked about this? Honey Golden is talking about it. And Ishmael Perez wrote a book on it, okay, with the cosmic origins. So the frequencies are for us all to put in the intentions, positive intentions, so that we can move there already, so we can already be there, so we can be sovereign beings, so we no longer feel trapped, so we no longer feel that happiness is outside of us, but within us, because this dome is finally going to break. So to send some frequency that this dome finally dissolves and that the solar flash comes right through, because we need it. And as the dome comes down, we want the ice walls We want them to let them fall. We want to bring down the ice walls. Let them fall. Let them fall. Yes, and we want the dome to hurry up and fall. We want to be sovereign beings. All in all, I'm going to use the pendulum and definitely ask my higher self for my highest good using my pendulum. Questions, okay? Just in case there's a lot of doubting minds. Some may not even believe in the pendulum, but that's okay. You don't have to believe in anything you don't want to believe. First of all, I'm going to ask the pendulum, and this is my higher being for my highest good is going to answer with the pendulum. Okay, show me yes. Okay, first of all, I'm going to give it a little swing. Okay, I'm going to give it a little swing, little head start. Okay. 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 Is or are we really in a dome? Are we on top of the earth? And is there a dome on top of the earth people, the human beings? You know, it said yes. Yes, we are in a dome. Which explains why man never went to the damn moon. And we've been GMO'd, right? We've been GMO'd. Basically, we don't get the oxygen that we're supposed to be getting. Okay, let's ask the pendulum. Are we receiving the proper amount of oxygen since we are living under the dome? It says no. We are not receiving the proper amount of oxygen, which is why we're going to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. It's so important to take these breaths, okay? We need to take these breaths, especially since we are not getting proper oxygen. All right. Inhaling and exhaling out. Breathing for our lungs is very important. Okay, I'm going to continue asking questions. Okay. And this I did my own research, and I also looked at honey golden, and I also looked at other truthers, what they've been talking about, and I do my other researches. A lot of the researches that I've done, a lot of the scientists negate a lot of things. They'll probably say, yeah, it's surrounded by a dome, it's protecting us from any particles that may hit Earth. No, not really, because once the dome comes down, there's like a filament on the Earth. So it's not like whatever we do on top of the earth is going to go into space. There's something over it. So it's not like that's going to happen. However, in time, I don't know how long, when we learn how to fly in the space, we have flying cars. You're going to have to learn how to, try not to speed because then you'll have a car accident in space, which would be the worst thing versus, a regular car accident. But once you're in space, you got to be cool. However, the Tartarians that been living, that are 1,000 years ahead of us, they're experts. They've made Earth their planet, and they've also excelled. They've evolved 1,000 years versus we who have been enslaved under the dome have regressed, and which is why they've changed the hours. So speaking of hours, let's talk about this. Okay, outside the dome, there's 36 to 40 hours, meaning there's 36 hours of day and 4 hours of rest. And the Tartarians, they actually take naps in between. And stemming from what Honey Golden said, she talked about um, that her higher self, and higher self is basically the spirit above your soul, you know. And then I believe you have another one which is bigger than the higher self. Basically, we're everyone, like us being microcosms of the universe. Then you have the one that's above the higher self, right? It's like a boss, from one company to another, but it's of the good, it's of the light. Okay, so the question was, um, let's ask, have we been cheated on hours? Is there more than 24 hours? Okay, is there more than 24 hours? Said yes. Okay. Are there 40 hours in a day? Yes. Are there 4 hours of nighttime? Yes. Okay. I'm going to ask another question. When, and this is for my higher self, controlling the pendulum, for my highest good, and for everyone that wants to listen. You don't have to believe in this if you don't want to believe in it, but please connect yourself with your highest good for your own good so that you won't be um, just pulling anything that may be around you that can be negative or whatever. But say you want to connect with your higher self for your highest good, right? Okay, so the question was, I forgot the question that I was going to ask. Hold on one second. Okay, so we have 40 hours in a day, correct? It said yes. 4 hours of light, I mean 4 hours of darkness? Yes. So that's basically 4 hours in the night and 36 hours. So the weather in the new earth will be temperate weather, meaning when the dome falls, supposedly we're going to see planet Mars. Planet Mars is real cool. Remember that movie Total Recall, where everybody, looking normal, and to us normal, basically like humans. And then you have other ones that look different, but everyone is embraced there. They embrace each other's differences. And it's so weird how people on earth were all the same and they fight over, because I'm light, because I'm dark, they start to go against each other. But now I'm sure um, we're starting to realize that all of this stuff about color of your skin or ethnicity, it's all been to divide and conquer. So for any of you who are still in that, please clear your mind, because we're all human. At the end of the day, we are all slaves under this dome, and we want to be sovereign beings. So imagine yourself as sovereign beings, free from the dome. Okay, my question was to the pendulum. My question is, will the dome, will the sun, okay, will the sun disintegrate the dome soon? Said yes. Okay. All right, I'm going to ask another question. Will the dome fall this month in May? Okay. Will it fall in June? Will it fall down in July? Will it fall down in August? Well, it said yes as to sometimes the timing. I mean, will it fall in August? It's all time. And generally, there's no such thing as linear time. Time goes this way, right? There's no such thing as linear time. There's no such thing as age. However, they brainwashed us to believe we're a certain age, therefore we wind up not wanting to celebrate. Me, I've never wanted to celebrate my birthday because I knew it was all a game. However, what made me, kind of like lean toward my age was when I started getting sick, like 12 years ago. Was it 12 years ago? 2012? 11 years ago. Then I started feeling, wow, am I going down? No, it was just an accident. It was something that happened. And, got a few changes and still it lingers. But I imagine myself having optimum health because we all want to be healthy, right? We all want to have optimum health. So I always say, I always put the intentions out there, but sometimes I may hinder myself, which is why it's taken longer. So from this moment forward, I'm pushing myself constantly to speak, in the positive. I am and I will, I am in optimum health. I will uh, be healthier today than I was tomorrow. So it's just like putting those positive intentions out there. You got to be careful with your thoughts, especially now since we're sending whatever comes out the mouth. That's what it is, that's what it is. Okay, let's ask other questions. Okay. It was said that in the future, we're not going to be able to travel in the middle of the ocean. Because imagine this, the ice walls will be melted. And I'm not just talking about from this space that we're here on Earth, but outside, outside of it, meaning different creatures from the continents that have been living there will move in and come in, you know, our side of the dome because there's a wall, the ice wall will melt. So that is what the baddies didn't want to happen. They didn't want all the polar ice and all of that to melt. And in reality, they created this weather for 850 years. They created this weather. So therefore, when it does come down, when the dome comes down, it's going to take a bit for weather to become temperament, you know, temperate, not temperament, sorry, temperate, meaning that it's going to be at a certain temperature and the skies are going to look the same, and we're not going to have like the boots and it's going to be snowing because that weather was really, it was all manipulated. Everything was manipulated. We were lied to. We were imprisoned. We weren't sovereign. We weren't sovereign beings. So we're going to have a guide. And I believe the Tartarians will guide us. So with that said, I'm going to ask the pendulum about the Tartarians. Okay. Have the Tartarians or are the Tartarians living on the same earth as us? Are they living outside the dome on earth? Said yes. Okay. Are they excited to help us once the dome breaks? Yes. And I heard they don't want us to worship them because they believe that everybody's equal because we have something different. We're all beautiful. We're all different. I mean, no two people shine alike. And speaking of shine, when the solar flash happens, our DNA will be activated, and they say we will have a sparkle. Okay, we will be sparkling. Okay, is it true once our DNA is activated that we will be sparkling? Said yes. Okay. Have the Tartarians already ascended? Yes. So the Tartarians already have been, outside the dome. So they've been at a higher frequency. And now with the ascension process, they become, they're, at that rate too. So what does it mean when we ascend? What does it mean when we ascend? It means that we leave the rest behind. We become less dense because the 3D matrix has been very dense. But once we ascend, we become lighter. All right. So with that said, um, will we all ascend to the fifth dimension? No. Okay, so I'm going to ask a question in my own mind. I'm going to see if I can answer it. Okay, so where are those that are not going to ascend? Where are they going to go? Some will pass, some will pass away, and some we won't be able to see anymore, especially those who are not ready to be on the fifth dimension. We won't move anywhere, like it's just a consciousness, the way we think, because even like creating your reality, like they say we can't have it's not good to have attachments. It's so hard to separate me from my dog, because it's like my dog is like my child. It's like when you ascend and you have a family, do you break away from your family? You see what I'm saying? It's like, no, but you let them, I believe, what, decide, right? Shouldn't families stick together to form the ascension together? However, everybody's an individual. And I think that once everything is settled, that everything will work itself out. Let's ask the question to the pendulum. Will families ascend together? Yes. Will there be separations if one partner is not on the same page with the other? Yes. So let's say, so this is how I feel about that. If you have one partner that's abusive and you have the other one that's not, that's probably when the separation may occur. And one partner may be grasping to go to a higher level and the other person hasn't grown. If the other person has the spiritual ambition, or basically to want to move up in this ascension, that person, I believe these two people will part. I think that's what they mean when you want to hold on to somebody, or um, like looking outside of yourself. I think that can be toxic. I believe that would be the thing about hanging on to something outside yourself. If you hang on to a negative relationship and expecting to ascend, who knows? However, everybody will be activated, their DNA will be activated. But then, how many people don't understand about this, or don't understand the concept of the ascension. And when it happens and they see, oh my, they're going to see the planet Mars is going to be huge, and they're going to see the sun is going to be like shining in their face, because in reality we never had the sun, the real sun, hitting us. Currently we're getting reflections of the sun, because the dome is opening up a bit. So once it's opened up completely, there's gonna be a different feel, because then the sun is gonna activate the DNA. Therefore, we're gonna remember our Akash, meaning our different lifetimes. Like already, I started remembering when I was a little kid what my mom used to do, and the things, when I went to the store today and I was looking at stuff that my mom used to buy when I was a kid, and I was getting a little nostalgic. I'm like, wow, and I haven't gotten like that in a long time. I'm like, and I'm just like I'm getting these odd memories. Then I went to one place where I'm like riding a horse, but this is like probably somewhere in Ireland or in Scotland. I have long black hair. I'm riding a horse. I find out I'm pregnant. I'm between 14 and 15 years old. I have like a red bustier, these weird boots, and yeah, it's like a red dress, but I have something draped over it. Right in front of a castle, and I'm huffing and puffing because I'm running with the horse. I don't know if I got some bad news about me not wanting to be pregnant or whatever. I was afraid. And then probably it popped in my mind, probably that person didn't want to be with me back in the day when I was going through that ordeal. Just a weird experience. Like I just downloading odd, you know, just awkward information or odd information, but you still feel like that is you. Although that's not your face right now, currently in the body, but you feel like those are still your memories. Hold on one second. Right. So, yeah, it's interesting what's happened. Observe. And I would love, I mean, I would love the domes to fall. I really want the domes to fall. I'm just so excited. I mean, I'm like, wow. I had a dream years ago that the sun was really close to us. And really, the sun isn't far away. It's closer to us than we think. I think we will be trained how to live in the new earth. We will be trained. I mean, our consciousness will magnify, our smart bodies will magnify. Some of us will get our talents or our gifts sooner than others. Some people will be able to heal. Some people will be more into music. Like I want to do my music, or I am gonna do my music. It's just I've been working so hard on other things and different situations, happening currently, and aiming toward my book and all of that. Just so much, so many, to-dos, and I have to finally find time. And I'm going to write this down because I don't like to say things, because when you say things, it doesn't generally transpire the way you want to say. So I need to write all these things down, and I need to, do whatever I have to do. Or let's say I am going to do all these things. That's where the power of abundance lies in you being sure what you're going to do. Excuse me. You being sure of what you want to do. I just wanted to come through to let you guys know about what's going on. So basically what we see in the sky is basically hologrammed. It, the northern lights, all of that, all of that is not real. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. It's like, oh, it's there's such a natural phenomenon or nothing. It's not a real thing. It's just all of this is hologrammed. At first I started liking all of the skies, and I'm like, wow, the sky sure looks different. It's all a hologram. The skies are going to look blue. Once this dome falls, it's going to look blue, which is why, like Honey said, people like traveling. And it'll be so nice for us to connect with the Tartarians. I'm not going to worship anybody though, but uh, it'll be a compliment. It'll be complimentary, or basically, I would definitely appreciate if someone showed me the new technologies, because what they're going to do is they're going to show us technology, hopefully in this lifetime, and I'm hoping soon, excuse me, but my nose is itchy. Hopefully, I have allergies galore, and hopefully, we will be having the time of our lives. And I know the holidays like Christmas and all of that, that's going to be knocked out in time, because of during that time, that season, a lot of crazy crimes against humanity were at full throttle, although a lot of people have changed